Welcome back, children. So in the previous class we have discussed about what is an alternating EMF and alternating current, and then what do you mean by root mean square value and average value of EMF and current. Now coming to today's class, we'll be studying what is the behavior of a resistor when you connect it to an alternating source of EMF. We'll study all the three: behavior of inductor, capacitor as well as resistor. So first I'll begin with the behavior of a resistor when you connect it to an alternating EMF. So to start with, assume that I'm taking a resistor whose resistance is capital R, and I'm going to connect it to an alternating EMF, which is represented by the relation E0 sine omega t. This input, whatever we are giving, is sinusoidally varying with time. So this is an alternating source of EMF. So the first step, what we do is we try to find out what will be the current in the circuit. So to get the current in the circuit, apply Kirchhoff law. Applied EMF is E. So let the current be I. Resistance is R. So if I apply Kirchhoff law, E minus IR should be equal to a 0. So replace E as E0 sine omega t. Minus IR is 0, or E0 sine omega t is I into capital R. So what is your equation for current equal to? It is E0 by capital R into sine omega t. So potential difference or amplitude of EMF divided by resistance, I'll call this as amplitude of current, I0 sine omega t. So observe how is current varying with time. If EMF is sinusoidally varying with time, current is also sinusoidally varying with time, where I0 is equal to the peak value of current divided by resistance. So the first thing is we have to calculate what is the nature of current through the resistor. So if your EMF is oscillating with time, current also varies sinusoidally with time. So this is our first observation. Now from this, what is the phase difference between current and EMF? If EMF is sine omega t, E0 sine omega t, current also we have got I is equal to I0 sine omega t. Since both of them are sinusoidal waves, I can say phase difference between current and EMF for a resistor is 0 degrees. There is no phase difference. So indirectly current and EMF follow each other. If EMF is increasing with time, current also increases with time. If EMF decreases with time, current also decreases with time. Now to show the variation of EMF as well as current, we'll be using one diagram in this particular chapter that is called a phasor diagram. For the first time you're listening to the word phasor. First let us try to understand what do we mean by the term phasor. Remember, phasor is a rotating pseudo vector. Pseudo is false. What do you mean by a pseudo vector? It's a false vector. We know EMF is not a vector quantity. Neither current is a vector quantity. But in alternating currents, we are going to represent them in the form of vectors because they obey vector law of addition. And then by rotating those vectors, we try to study the variation of current as well as EMF. So at any instant of time you want to know what is the EMF and current, you can find out from that phasor diagram. Not only that, you can even calculate or evaluate the power dissipated across the resistor. We know product of EMF and current will give you the power. So you can find out power, you can find out EMF, and you can find out the current at any instant of time by making use of this phasor. So let us see how to represent this phasor diagram. So first I will show you the phasor diagram for resistor. Observe the diagram carefully. So represent a coordinate axis. This is a coordinate axis. Just beside this, I am going to represent one more diagram. Okay, by rotating the vectors, we'll plot the values in the second graph. Both of them should be one beside the other. So in this graph, I will represent EMF and current. What is your equation for EMF? E is equal to E naught sine omega t. Say after t seconds, I will take the amplitude of this E naught. Okay, the amplitude of EMF, E naught, is equal to length of this arrow. Okay, first represent it. Let it make an angle omega t after t seconds. That means at t equal to 0, the vector is on x-axis. After t seconds, it has rotated through an angle omega t. So here I am representing the EMF vector whose length is proportional to E naught. And then angle made, I am taking it as omega t. Now look at current. Current is EMF by resistance. If you take resistance as a positive value greater than 1, amplitude of current is smaller than EMF. Then even current is I naught sine omega t after t seconds. The second vector, I will change the color. Okay, I will represent current with a blue line. Okay, this is your current vector. And then EMF with a pink color. Okay, two different colors I am using. E naught or EMF I am representing with violet, and this blue line indicates the amplitude of current. Both of them are making an angle omega t after t seconds. So their projection on y-axis, say if I project these vectors on y-axis, drop a perpendicular, this is the amplitude of E at t seconds. This gives amplitude of I after t seconds. So we are going to rotate these vectors and plot the corresponding values in the second graph. Again I repeat, first I have represented vector E naught, which is making an angle omega t with x-axis after t seconds. Current and EMF are overlapping with each other. So this blue line indicates current whose amplitude is I naught. This is also making same angle, that is omega t with x-axis. Now rotate the two vectors. So if I rotate this EMF vector, I will get one circle. Okay, we are going to rotate this vector for one complete rotation. Similarly, I will rotate this current vector also. Okay, it will trace a smaller circle because I took capital R greater than 1. Now plot the corresponding values. Okay, take the reference points first. Okay, so this is the height of E naught vector. Okay, now from smaller circle I will take the reference points. Okay, blue line will give you the amplitude of I naught vector. Now first observe only E naught vector. At t equal to 0, E naught was on x-axis. Its projection on y-axis is 0. So when I start rotating this E naught from 0 to 90 degrees. Okay, so for one complete rotation I will show you 0, 90, 180, 270 and 360. So when t equal to 0, theta is equal to 0. When you rotate this vector from 0 to 90 degrees, E naught is increasing from 0 to maximum. Okay, when I drop the perpendiculars on y-axis, projection on y-axis is gradually increasing. When it is rotated 90 degrees, this will give you the amplitude. So from 0 to 90, what is happening to the EMF? EMF is increasing. Maximum value is E naught. From 90 to 180, its projection on y-axis will decrease. It's a sinusoidal wave. It is a simple sine curve. Decreases to 180. So from 180 to 270, increases in opposite direction. 270 to 360. It has completed one rotation. So by rotating EMF vector by one rotation, that is 360 degrees, how is EMF varying with time? It is following a sine curve. 0 to maximum, maximum to 0, opposite direction and 0. Similarly, now you rotate I naught vector also. Current I am representing with blue line. Already you took the reference. It is also following a sine curve. 0 to 90. Increasing. 90 to 180. Decreasing. 180 to 270. And 270 to 360. See, by rotating these vectors, we have plotted the projection on y-axis in the second graph. Now, from this graph, you can clearly see if EMF is increasing with time, current is also increasing. EMF is decreasing, current also decreases, increasing in opposite direction, and it is following each other. So, current and EMF are following each other. Therefore, what is the phase difference between I and E? It is equal to 0 degrees. Now, from this graph, you can even plot the power. Okay, how do we define instantaneous power? Product of E into I. So, in the same graph, I will represent power. This is instantaneous power. Power at any instant of time is I into E or E into I, whatever you write. It is E naught, I naught, sin omega t into sin omega t, it will be sin square omega into t. Now you can plot this graph also in this particular phasor. See, is power product of EMF into current. Current is also increasing, EMF is also increasing. The product of these two values also increase with time. Okay, so show the product. I am showing the product with a green color. Product will increase. Both are decreasing. Product of these two also will decrease. Negative into negative. See here, current is decreasing, EMF is also decreasing. Both are negative values. Minus into minus, your power will be positive. Both are increasing, power also increases. Both are decreasing, power also will decrease. Now look at the phasor. This diagram we call it as phasor. So if you can represent EMF and current in vector form, it gives you the complete information about the nature of EMF, current as well as power. So here it's okay. Now that you know what is the nature of EMF, current and instantaneous power, let us calculate average power dissipated per cycle. Okay, for one complete cycle, we will be finding out the average power. So we know what is the equation representing power? E into I, E naught sin omega t, I naught sin omega t. It's nothing but E naught I naught sin square omega t. This is your instantaneous power. I want the average power for one complete cycle. E naught and I naught are constants. Average of sin square omega t. See, in the previous class I told you how to find average of sin square omega t. Can we write it as 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2? One more time I am telling you. 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2. We need the average of this. This is nothing but E naught I naught by 2. Average of 1. Okay, average of 2 I have already brought outside. Average of a constant is constant. Minus. What is average of cos 2 omega t? I told you average of any sine function or a cosine function for one complete cycle is 0. So average of cos 2 omega t will become 0. So what will be your average power dissipated for one complete cycle equal to E naught I naught by 2. The peak value of EMF into peak value of current divided by 2. See, we generally express this average power as E RMS into I RMS. Remember what is RMS value? E naught by root 2, I naught by root 2. So can I write E naught I naught by 2 as E naught by root 2 into I naught by root 2? Nothing but E RMS into I RMS. So see, for DCs we know power is E into I. For an AC it is RMS value which replaces the DC. Okay, so it's not visible. I'll write it here. What is average power dissipated for one complete cycle? For a resistor, E RMS into I RMS. So this is how you can identify the total power dissipated. So putting all the points together, so what did we understand for a resistor circuit? If EMF is E naught sin omega t, current is I equal to I naught sin omega t, where I naught is E naught divided by R. Phase difference between current and EMF is 0, so current follows EMF. Step 3, this is your phasor representation. Okay, both the vectors are overlapping with each other. So when you rotate and plot the values, this line represents EMF, blue line represents current, and this green line represents variation of power. Average power also you can plot, but it is a constant. If you want to give average power, you can give a straight line, because average power is a constant, E RMS into I RMS for one complete cycle. So this much of power is dissipated when an AC source is connected to a resistor. So these are the 4 or 5 points which you have to remember regarding a resistor.